One of the most powerful tools that we support in our testbed for measurements are passive optical splitters. These allow the observation of any kind of packet processing system because we can tap into a running network connection without the system even knowing that we currently observe it. This means that we can integrate almost any kind of networked system into our testbed, meaning this could be a black box with just 2 network ports, but also we can investigate entire networks by just observing the ingoing and outgoing traffic of this entire network. We can do very precise timestamping using this methodology, meaning that we can apply our network cards with a nanosecond resolution and timestamp all the traffic that we see. But we can also use it to determine the reliability of network systems by determining which kinds of packets are lost under which scenarios. Our testbed also offers different kinds of hardware equipment for network, or that could be interesting for networking research. For instance, switches that support the programming language P4. These are very powerful switches that can do very simple kind of processing inside the switches themselves at a very high bandwidth. We also support different kinds of networking hardware that can be programmed in the server itself, meaning these are often called smart NICs, and we support different types of smart NICs in our testbed. We also offer a diverse set of different hardware configurations in our servers. For instance, we offer different kinds of CPU architectures and generations of CPU architectures in our testbed, meaning that if you have specific requirements, we may not be able to deliver the specific CPU that you're interested in, but we have at least a CPU that offers a very similar architecture to what you want to investigate. And for the most unique feature in our testbed, I would say this is the focus on reproducibility. Because we require all the experiments from every researcher to be automated. Without automation, you will not be able to use our testbed. This means that researchers that want to use and have used our testbed automated their entire experiment workflow. This means that also others can easily recreate the original experiment because everything is automated, and if they have access to our testbed and access to the experiment, they can simply re-execute the experiment and recreate the original results. We also follow a very well-structured approach, meaning that we have a very fixed structure for our experiment workflow so that everyone that is familiar with the general workings of this workflow can also have a look at a new experiment and will get at least the gist of the experiments by just having a look at the defined experiment. And it's also a nice feature that this approach is quite modular, meaning that others can also reuse parts of the experiments or just adapt specific blocks of this experiment to fit their own research goals. In the end, we hope to achieve that we minimize the effort for the researchers themselves to make their experiment reproducible.